Just in time.
Hey guys, my name is Ryan.
And I'm Miska.
And welcome to Overwatch Central Quick Start Guides. A set of guides going over heroes going into as much detail as we can in regards to their strengths and weaknesses, whilst trying to keep the video as short as we can, preferably under 5 minutes. Today we are going over Pharah.
Pharah is an offense hero armed with rockets and has the ability to fly. Her weapon launches rockets that currently deal 120 damage when they direct hit a target. Her first ability is the jump jet, which launches Pharah up into the air and allows her to follow it up with her jetpack to hover for a bit. Her next ability is the concussive blast, which shoots any target in its blast radius, including Pharah, away from it. And finally, Pharah's ultimate ability is barrage. When activated, she fires mini rockets from her suit in a cone in front of her, damaging enemies in an AoE.
So Pharah has one of the highest damage outputs in the game. Of course her rockets do a lot of damage when you directly hit something, but the rockets can also do a fair bit of damage with the splash effect. Her vertical maneuverability makes it so that she can dominate the air and bully the enemy team with ease, making them retreat to smaller areas and out of the open spaces. Her concussive shot can knock enemies off the sides of maps as well as help her move around quicker, and her ultimate is easily one of the strongest in the game, essentially taking out anything that's in her way.
When Pharah is in the air, she can be a sitting duck. She doesn't have the ability to rapidly move from side to side like she does on the ground, so she's an easy target for any long-range weaponry really. Pharah relies on being up high in the air, so indoor areas and narrow corridors or just any room with a ceiling can be a pain to move around in. Whilst you're most effective when you're flying around, you're also very exposed, so make sure to not miss your targets.
So what heroes do you want to be aiming for when attacking with Pharah? As a Pharah you'll have a fun time taking out the enemies that have a hard time hitting you in the air. Junkrat is an obvious one as his grenades will have a hard time reaching you high up. Reinhardt is another great target. Flying around him and getting on his backside will give him issues as he will be getting attacked from both sides. And of course shooting out the supports like Mercy and Symmetra is also a great thing to do as they don't really have an answer for your long range. But basically you want to be aiming at the big clumps of enemy players, as not only you'll be doing a hell of a lot of damage to them in a group, but you'll also be manipulating where they can go on the map.
We use the term hit scan a lot. Hit scan weapons are non-projectile based and their bullets have no travel time. McCree and Soldier both use these type of weapons, so if they are aiming at you when they shoot, they are almost certain to hit you. Unlike a Pharah rocket which has travel time, meaning that you can react and move out of the way. We say this because hit scan is Pharah's main weakness. Soldier and McCree are obvious counters here as their weapons can do a fair amount of damage from a distance and hit Pharah reliably. Roadhog's hook is practically made for countering Pharah as well, so make sure to watch out and position yourself in a way that doesn't allow Roadhog to reel you in easily. D.Va is more of a pain than a hard counter. She can take a lot of your rocket hits as well as completely negate a lot of your attacks with her defense matrix.
You can play Pharah on both attack and defense effectively. In reality, it depends on what the enemy team have gone for and what map specifically you are on. Pharah is good at taking out targets from a very long range, but you can rarely handle multiple people shooting at you at once. So make sure you know what you're up against and how the enemy are positioned. Payload maps are generally a little bit easier to deal with this way, but Pharah isn't a bad pick on any map.
It comes as no surprise that the Quake players love playing the fragger Pharah. Timing your rockets to hit enemies correctly and reliably is a talent that takes time to master, but we always recommend aiming at walls or the floor near enemies if you're not confident with your shooting abilities just yet. Pharah rockets do splash damage, so even if she misses her target, but they're still close to the impact zone, the explosion will do a fair amount of damage. Pharah is most effective in the air, so it's important to practice using your cooldowns to make sure you stay there for as long as you can. Do keep in mind though that you can also use your rockets for a slight rocket jump, and of course your concussive blast to move around. Landing somewhere high up and shooting yourself off the side with your concussive blast in combination with your jetpack allows you to move around quickly even without your jump jet. It all takes some getting used to, so jump into a private game or a skirmish and have a good practice at doing so. There are a lot of downsides to Pharah's ult. For a start, you're static in the air when using it, so you're an easy target to take out if enemies don't die quickly. With great power comes great responsibility, so make sure to plan forward with your barrage. Flank around the enemy team and remain patient and do your best to synergize it with other ultimates such as Zarya's Black Hole, Reinhardt's Hammer Down and Mei's Freeze. Also make sure to not hold on to your ultimate for that perfect moment. Using the barrage to just take out a bastion or turret can be just as viable as picking up a couple kills. Just be aware of your surroundings so you're not instantly picked off.
And that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. We have 2 of these guys going out a week, so be sure not to miss any of those. Be sure to subscribe for more Overwatch content, and until next time, take care, and we will see you then.